Morning, Gerald.
Good morning, Ashley.
How are you?
I'm very well.
Rovi. Okay, well, welcome to CES. Tell me a little bit about what you are hoping to, looking for, thinking you're going to get out of this year's show.
Okay. The big thing for us with CES is really, firstly, it's an opportunity to sync up with all of the studio partners, and that isn't just limited to the big Hollywood ones, it's also the international ones, both the international branches of the Hollywood ones, and also the large, be they French or Japanese or Australian or whatever. So it's a wonderful opportunity for us to see all of our studio partners in one place. The second thing it brings for us is all of the CE manufacturers and all the device manufacturers, because obviously the content that we're interested in getting to a consumer has to go out on a device. And the third thing is, frankly, it's kind of cool to see what's new and interesting out in the show floor.
Tell me how cool it is after your feet on day 3. So what are some of the challenges that the studios are facing right now with this sort of, proliferation of devices and platforms?
The biggest challenge for them, really, to be candid, is around margin. There were glory days, fat times, when the margins on DVD and Blu-ray are extremely high. And as long as people were consuming their content at home off a physical disc, it was a happy time. People are continuing to consume as much, if not more, content, both user-generated, but also, for yours and my purposes, more interesting than studio content. Continue to consume the same amount, they're just consuming it in a different way. And in particular, they're consuming it digitally. Therefore, the margins go down. And what we're seeing is a shift away from customers owning their content towards customers renting it. Again, fine, they're still consuming the content, but the margins for the studios are not so attractive. So what they're looking to do is find ways to increase the value to the consumer of owning the content so that they can continue to enhance their margins.
Rovi has some interesting technology announcements today regarding compression, delivery, etc. Could you tell me how that sort of all comes together for the storefront product to actually drive higher margins for the studios?
Sure. One of the most important ways in which the studios are trying to shift people's attention back onto ownership is with an initiative called UltraViolet, which is basically that a movie is placed, a token for that movie is placed into your locker and you can access it wherever you want. It's your movie in the cloud. The brilliant thing is that it's everyone's cloud and you can get at your movie wherever you are through any device at any time. It's a really great initiative. One of the things, of course, that means is it's one thing, Gerald, to say I'm going to get my movie. It's another thing to actually physically get it. One of the tremendous benefits that Rovi uniquely brings to the space is the DivX Plus streaming technology, DPS as we call it, is one of the most elegant ways to manage one of the big challenges when you're consuming anywhere, which is your bandwidth may not be steady or stable. And DPS is a wonderful way of avoiding the spinning hourglass of death or the freeze or the clutch or any of the other problems that we suffer when we're consuming content in a mobile environment.
So one of the biggest challenges right now in this multi-platform kind of, entertainment unbound video ubiquity that we live in is discovery.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's something the studios, I'm sure, are challenged with as well, specifically if they're trying to drive ownership.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about what you guys are doing there.
Well, I mean, the first and the best thing is that, as it happens, not coincidentally, Rovi's the world's best metadata company. So we're starting from a base of knowing more about what might be out there than anybody else. Add on to that the reach that Rovi has in the service provider space, and we're in a position to at least know everything that a consumer might want to watch. And now you're really talking about two things, helping them find the thing that they want and then getting it to them. We've already talked about getting it to them, that's the stores. Helping them find is all around our search and recommendation. And I think one of the unique aspects of Rovi is by controlling one of the delivery methods, the stores, and being so good at search and recommendation, you get a virtuous cycle. I'm going onto Rovi sites, I'm finding what I want, I'm consuming more. Every time I consume more, I tell the retailer who gave me that content, more about what I want. He works with Rovi and gives me more of what I need. And the more that the company, not in a big brother creepyish way, the more the company, the retailer, knows about the consumer's needs, the more likely they are to give the consumer what they want. And Rovi's making that work through the metadata.
So I'm assuming that helps the studios drive revenue and top line as well.
Absolutely. The more that I'm given options for things I want to watch, the more likely I am to keep going back and watching, keep going and purchasing, and therefore increase my consumption.
Awesome. Great. Have a great show, Gerald. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ashley.
Appreciate it.